All right, in my previous video, I showed all the components of my oil burning furnace that I was going to make. Now you can see it's complete as far as the assembly goes. You can see my squirrel cage fan on the side of the refrigerator shell, which I used as the cabinet. Then I made it encasement inside of it, made out of steel, to hold the oil burner that I made, which you can see all these separate components in the first video. And then you can see my 20-gallon oil supply, which is used motor oil that feeds into the stainless steel pan down below. You can see my flue pipe, and then you can see I have two outputs, one right above the stove inside the encasement, and then the rear one, which the fan controls both of those. And then you can see the ductwork going through my shop, temporarily hung up above. There's an output, and the very end is an output, and then I have an output right on top of it, which you can hook up another output ductwork if you wish. Which this is just temporary setup, because once I get this all worked out and the design finished, because I have yet to hook it up, I'm needing a relay, 24-volt power supply to control the thermostat, so I can put the fan, the squirrel cage fan that blows, on a thermostat, so it's thermostatically controlled that way. Eventually, and then I'll put some front doors, either the original front doors, or I'll make something else to put on the front of this, because this is going to go outside and we'll duct it in. That's why the encasement of the stove, because it is like I said, it's going to go outside. Now, what I'll do here this morning is I'm going to light the stove. That does take a little bit to get it going. We're using used motor oil, and I'll set my phone down here where you can see what I'm doing as I'm doing it. Hopefully you can see that. Okay. Now up here is my knob to start the oil. I'm going to go ahead and start the oil. About 3/4 of a turn is all I want to do. And we'll wait for the oil to flow. I'll go ahead and do one turn. I think it was one turn, maybe. One full turn. It is slow. It's kind of cold this morning. There it goes. Now she's flowing. Now what I'm going to do is go get me some starter. Use a little bit of diesel fuel to start it with, to get it going. Now before I inject this, let me sit that right there for a minute. I want to give me a little bit of a starter fuse, is what I call it. Cloth works well. I use pieces of my shop rag and that old cloth. I got my fuse sticker here. That's what I'm using for a fuse. Now the oil's flowing. I want it flowing because I got to get a little bit in the pan to get this going. I'll stuff my fuse in here. A wick, I guess I should call it. Got that. And then I'm gonna go ahead and I'm gonna light this, get it ready. That's my torch. Got it ready. Then I'm gonna grab my fuel here. My starter fuel. Kind of like my fuse. Now hopefully we've got enough oil in here to take. There she goes. You can see why I call it a rocket stove. I don't know if you can hear that or not. Let me get you closer. See my stainless steel pan with holes drilled in it. Going up through my barrel. Which what I use for a barrel is a old compressor. I think it's 50 gallon or 80 gallon old barrel, compressor barrel. And it looks like I got enough oil flow. Then we let her warm up. There she goes. She's taking on now. Sounds like one of Elon's rockets. That's why I call it a rocket stove. She gets to roaring, depending on how much oil flow you put to her. I'm gonna back my feet off just a hair. And there's my feed. I'm gonna back her up just a hair. And she's stable now, stabilized. Fill my encasement. That's definitely hot. She's warm. She is roaring. I'm back the valve off a little more. Nice to have a clear tube that I look at. I can see oil's flowing pretty good, so I'll back the way off. And it takes a minute for you to notice the change. So you want to adjust in small increments. Now we're at about half a turn of the valve being open. That's all. It don't take much. And that 20 gallons will last a couple months. Depending on the shop. I don't heat my shop every day, but basically a couple months for me. I'd say I use 5 gallons on a real cold day, 5 gallons a day. Used oil, which is nothing for a shop. You get that much in oil changes in a day. It's worth it, Go ahead and Like I said, I don't have it hooked up thermostat yet, but that's coming. That'll be the next video. Let me plug my fan in here. There we go. She's huffing and puffing. And, oh yeah, nice and warm. My shop will be warm pretty quick. Oh, Cinnamon, this is Cinnamon vent. That's why the shop dog, she laid right under the vent. And then the end vent over here, can't hardly see, it's up above the light there. And now let's go look at how much smoke we've got coming out. It's usually a little smoky right when you first start out, but this will, once it heats up, that will clear out. And it won't be near as black. There you go.